Reboots, woo, did it. That's what Disney XD's doing. Reboots, woo, did it. But will your childhood be ruined by reboots? Woo! Not army boots or car boots, but reboots. Woo! Hi, I'm Andre and I'm a black nerd. Nice to see you again on my channel, and a special shout out to my subscribers and of course my DuckTales fans, because DuckTales is coming back and we got the first trailer for the DuckTales series. You sent me this link through Twitter, through YouTube. You were telling me all day long, Andre, you gotta talk about DuckTales. So here we go. The DuckTales trailer is a brand new series, a reimagined series of the original DuckTales series based on the comic books, the Uncle Scrooge comics, that's now coming to Disney XD. It has a different style. It's still 2D animated, but it's done in more of a flash / comic book art style as opposed to the animated style that we saw from the Disney afternoon. Which is fine for me. I know some people are complaining or concerned about it. For me personally, I already kind of figured that that's how it was going to be. I mean, I saw some early artwork and I've even talked about the series before on this channel. So I kind of had a feeling that was the vibe that they were going for. So it didn't throw me off too much. I hope it is still fluid animation, even though if it has that style. I hope that it's still fluid and still feels like a full-on animated series and not like something that looks a little bit cheaper, but it works for me. There's some interesting things I want to note from watching this. Seems like Scrooge McDuck may not be as rich as he's always been. There was a mention from Louie that he used to be big and, you know, is not as big anymore. There's also a quick shot of his money bin, which looks like it's a little bit emptier than it usually is. So I'm wondering if maybe part of the storyline with this is that Scrooge McDuck kind of fell off. Maybe he doesn't have as much money. Maybe he's not as adventurous as he used to be. And now with Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Donald showing up, now maybe he's gonna be a little bit more adventurous and get back to the way he used to be. There's even a point where he's like, I'm back, you know, so I think that's cool. We're getting the John Wick of Scrooge McDuck stories here with him returning. So I thought that was interesting. Also think I possibly noticed Flint Heart Glomgold in this. There's a really quick shot of Scrooge McDuck looking over the distance of someone else trying to grab like a ruby or something like that. It looked like one of those diamonds from the DuckTales video game. In this trailer, we got to see Scrooge McDuck, Huey, Dewey, Louie, Webby, and Launchpad. First off, David Tennant, Scrooge McDuck, perfect. I mean, he's doing a great job. I mean, obviously it's not the same as Alan Young. Alan Young will always just be the best, rest in peace. He was just such a great Scrooge McDuck. But David Tennant found a way to still have that feel, that vibe of Scrooge McDuck. Still got the accent, but just doing it a little bit differently, but you still could feel, you know, classic Scrooge in there, particularly when he said the line, I'm tougher than the toughies and smarter than the smarties, which I think was used to be sharper than the sharpies, but whatever. It gave me a vibe. Like when I heard that line, I was like, oh, that's some classic Scrooge right there. So I like that. I think he's doing a great job with that. For Huey, Dewey, and Louie, it's Danny Pudi as Huey, Ben Schwartz as Dewey, and Bobby Moynihan as Louie. They're good. I mean, you can tell it's adults doing the voices. Like in the past when the Ducks, when Huey, Dewey, and Louie have been voiced, they kind of sounded like kids, even if adults were voicing them, but you can definitely tell there's adults voicing these. It kind of, I don't know why, but it kind of gave me like a Bob's Burgers feel for some reason. Maybe it's because I've just been watching a lot of Bob's Burgers on Netflix, but that was a vibe I was going with, or feeling from those characters. But they're not recognizable voices. I'll give them that. Like, you can't specifically tell it's them. It doesn't sound like it's just the actors just doing their normal voice. They actually put some character into it. And I can already tell that I'm gonna love Louie in this. You know, there's a couple of scenes in this where Louie just has a couple of jokes that made me laugh. Like there's a point when Donald is taking Huey, Dewey, Louie to see Scrooge McDuck, and they're like, oh, you're taking us to Scrooge McDuck, and Louie just goes, you're finally selling us off, huh? I was like, wow. And then when they even meet Scrooge, they're all excited. Louie's just like, you used to be a big deal. What happened? And then when Webby meets them and is like, which one of you is the evil triplet? Huey, Dewey go, Louie, and Louie just goes, eh. So I like that style of Louie. I'm kind of curious of how Huey and Dewey are going to be, because it seems like they're definitely trying to give them each different types of personalities. Huey and Dewey were both very excited about seeing Scrooge in this trailer, so I didn't see that much of a difference between the two, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get a difference between the two as the series goes on. We also see Webby. Webby has definitely changed. If you remember from the classic animated series, Webby was very much, Uncle Scrooge, why can I go on the adventure too, Uncle Scrooge? She was basically the female of the Huey, Dewey, and Louie. She was specifically made to put a female character in DuckTales, and she was very girly girl. She even had like a doll that she would take with her all the time. You know, that was her style. This one, she's a little bit more adventurous and more excited, a little more fangirlish, and knows a little bit more about Scrooge and about Donald even than even Huey, Dewey, and Louie know. From the trailer, we see already that she's telling Huey, Dewey, and Louie that you don't know that your Uncle Donald is a big-time adventurer, and Scrooge was too. Webby is voiced by Kate Micucci. You know, Garfunkel and Oates. She's also the voice of Irma from Ninja Turtles, the current Ninja Turtles series. She was a voice. She's the voice of Velma in the new Scooby-Doo series. So she kind of usually has that like Velma, Irma voice. But in this, I couldn't tell her either. For a moment, I thought she was actually Kristen Shaw, the Mabel from Gravity Falls, or Louise from Bob's Burgers. Maybe that's why I was thinking Bob's Burgers. But there was like a laugh that she did. She was, and I was like, oh, that kind of sounds like her. But again, different vibe from her than I usually hear her voice. So that's really cool. But I can already tell my favorite character is going to be Launchpad Mcquack. He only had one line in this thing, and it was right at the very end, and it worked for me. He's looking back, he's like, ah, family. That's supposed to be, oh no, the ground. And I was just like, yes, first off, Launchpad still is not a great pilot. I'm glad you're keeping that in. I was worried if we're gonna still have jokes about Launchpad not being able to fly planes, but you know, it's cool to see that he's able to do that. Yeah, man, it's cute, and you know, they got the theme song in it, although it sounds like it's some Disney teen pop. I don't know who's singing it, but it sounded like some kind of like really updated DuckTales, and they get the rock guitar in it, so you know, I'll deal with that. I still have my classic DuckTales theme song whenever I want to play it. And then other than that, we're seeing the typical adventure stuff that you would expect to see from a DuckTales animated series. So it's got me hyped. I'm interested in it. Anyone out there yelling, oh, this is gonna ruin my childhood. Okay, first off, DuckTales is pretty old. You know, we're talking 80s with this series, so you either weren't born yet when DuckTales came out, or you're a grown adult who shouldn't be concerned if a DuckTales reboot coming to Disney XD for kids is gonna ruin your supposed childhood. That's about as ridiculous as a grown man who puts on a DuckTales shirt and sits in front of a DuckTales image making a YouTube video about DuckTales for ad revenue. And if you ever meet somebody like that, that person's got problems. So yeah, man, I'm interested in seeing how this series is gonna be, a new version of DuckTales, and hopefully it goes good. They've already renewed it. There was a report that came out today that Disney XD has already renewed it for a second season before it's even aired. So apparently Disney must like what's going on with it, and hey, who knows, if this goes well, maybe we can get some more ducks to come out. It'd be interesting if maybe another duck either cameos in this one or maybe gets a series of his own. You know, it'd be really kind. Save Darkwing, buy his comics so he can get a television show on Disney XD. Maybe a certain couple of chipmunks who are rangers to do rescues. That'd be cool to see them. Maybe a bear that flies a plane may want to just stop by, but watch out, don't fly too hard, you might have a tailspin. Spin a little bit, get it, you can win it in a minute. And maybe if a bear doesn't want to fly a plane, maybe have the bear drink some juice that makes him bounce up really high. Bouncing here and there and everywhere. I'm just saying, these are things that Disney could possibly do if they want to. You know, if you're gonna make Tangled Ever After, why can't we have Disney Afternoon just make a comeback? Come on. Where's our time? Them princesses get enough screen time as it is. They got movies, all right? The only movie DuckTales got was DuckTales the movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamb. So I'm just saying, Disney Afternoon needs some love. Everybody busy? Bring you a Disney. Bring you a Disney Afternoon. Goof Troop. Oh, I missed the House of Mouse. Everybody singing at the House of Mouse. Okay, I'm losing my mind now. DuckTales, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Woo! Thank you so much for everyone who suggested this. If there's ever any other thing that's out there that you're like, oh, that's Andre's stuff right there, I gotta tell him about it, please make sure to let me know in the comments. And also make sure you are subscribed so that you will know when I make videos. Ring that bell too so you can be notified of future videos that I make, especially because I read a lot of the comments when I first upload videos. So you can be one of the first people to then post a comment and be like, I got you, Andre. I'm here for you. Woo! So let me know what you think about these ducks. And I will see you next time. I love it like a play cousin. I'm Audi 5000 Chain Chomp Yomp.